In the beginning of the story we see a small boy and girl playing on the bank of the river. Seeing the girl sad, the boy asks the reason for her sadness. The girl replies that they just became friends and he is leaving the village. The boy assures her that he will always be her friend. Hearing this, the girl's eyes sparkle with happiness. After this the scene changes and we see a boy sleeping in the train. When he wakes up, his younger brother Ayumu tells him to take a look outside. Both the brothers get down at Yamabiko station. After this both the brothers catch a bus to go to the village. Ayumu asks if he has been to Yamabiko village before. Kazuma replies that he came here with his father as a child, and stayed at the Yorizuyo Inn. Both reach far away while talking. Ayumu suddenly notices the route map. He tells his brother that this bus is going in the other direction from the destination. Both get down at the next station and wait for the next bus. After a while a monkey comes there. The monkey runs away with Ayumu's hat. Kazuma goes into the woods behind him to retrieve the hat. But it was not easy for him to walk in the forest. The monkey climbs a tree with the cap. Kazuma chases the monkey by climbing the tree. Seeing this, the monkey throws the cap. To catch the cap, Kazuma jumps from the tree and lands in a bush. He gets the cap but loses his way. In the woods, Kazuma meets Ui who had come there to collect some vegetables. Ui helps Kazuma find his way to the bus stand. Ui shows Kazuma across the canal. But as Kazuma crosses the canal, he has a flashback to his childhood. His foot slips on the ground and he kisses Ui by mistake. Then Ui's friend Ibuki sees them there. Ibuki yells at Kazuma and kicks him away from Ui. Ibuki accuses Kazuma of forcibly kissing Ui. Ui explains to Ibuki that whatever happened was an accident and it was not Kazuma's fault. After this, both the girls drop Kazuma on the way to the bus stand. Kazuma says goodbye to Ui as he leaves. Ui smiles and waves her hand. Kazuma puts the hat back on Ayumu, and the two brothers reach the Yorizuko Inn. Both go inside the inn. There they are greeted by Senka who recognizes Kazuma upon hearing his name. Kazuma mistakenly calls her auntie, which makes her a little annoyed at Kazuma. Senka shows both the brothers their rooms. After this Kazuma goes to take a bath. But as soon as he opens the door, Tsumugi sees him. Kazuma runs away in panic and accidentally bumps into Senka and falls. Senka is surprised to see Kazuma and calls him small. Senka takes them to feed her cooked food at night. After dinner, Kazuma goes to sleep and thinks about the events of the day. He smiles happily thinking about the kiss he had with Ui. The next morning Senka sends Tsumugi along to show the two brothers the way to school. Tsumugi takes the two to school. After dropping off Ayumu on his way to junior high school, the two head to their school. As Kazuma enters his class, Ibuki screams upon seeing him. Kazuma glances at Ui and Ui waves her hand happily. After Kazuma introduces himself, the teacher asks him to go to the seat next to Ui. All the kids surround Kazuma and start asking about his relationship with Ibuki. Ibuki recounts everything that happened between Kazuma and Ui in the forest. Kazuma convinces Ibuki that it was an accident, but she refuses and the two begin to argue. Kazuma doesn't have a book for the next class, so Ui invites him to sit with her. But Ibuki stops Kazuma from sitting with Ui by giving him her book. Kazuma befriends Diego, who compliments him on hooking up with a girl so quickly. Ui waits for Kazuma to have lunch with him. The two boys join Ibuki and Ui at the lunch table. Ui takes out giant food boxes and starts eating food from them. When the school is over, the four plan a trip to the village. Kazuma calls Ayumu to meet him at the bridge. They find Tsumugi waiting for Kazuma near the school gate. Tsumugi tags along with the four of them. Near the bridge, they meet Tsumugi's younger sister Cassandra, who becomes friends with Ayumu. All those people go out to visit the village. First they take Kazuma to the town's convenience store, from where Ui buys lots of cheese sticks. After this, they take them to the shopping district, where there are many local shops. Cassandra tells them lots of rumors about those stores. Then those people tell them about Twin Peaks, about which there is an old story. Many years ago, a couple used to live on those mountains. They were so lost in each other that they completely stopped paying attention to other things. This angered the gods greatly and they cut the mountain into 2 pieces. Due to this, both of them got separated forever. A festival related to this story is celebrated in this village. After that, they go to visit a shrine. Ui challenges Kazuma for a race upstairs. Both go upstairs while running. Kazuma reaches up first. There they find Madoka. Kazuma tells her his name, hearing Madoka run away shyly. After that, they go to a coffee shop, where Ui orders a huge ice cream. A little ice cream remains on Ui's mouth, which Kazuma wipes off with his napkin. This causes Ui to have a flashback of her brother and she calls Kazuma Oni-chan. Next morning, Senka goes to wake up both the brothers. But listening to their talk from outside the room, she feels that both the brothers are doing something illegal. She yells at them by opening the door, but they are just fixing the clothes. After dropping Ayumu off at school, Kazuma meets Ui and Ibuki. Suddenly Kazuma senses that someone is watching him. Several rumors have spread about Kazuma in the school. Everyone is talking strange things about him. Kazuma feels again that someone is watching him. He runs after her, but he accidentally bumps into Madoka. Madoka panics after finding Kazuma so close to her, throws him to the ground and runs away. Tsumugi brings Kazuma to the infirmary. She explains that Madoka is terrified of boys, so she throws unknown boys to the ground when they come near her. The next morning, Ayumu wakes up early and goes out to draw. Kazuma wakes up late, so Senka sends him out for a walk outside the inn. Kazuma goes to the shrine to apologize to Madoka. Madoka starts running away after seeing Kazuma. Kazuma apologizes for yesterday by asking her to stay. Seeing this, Madoka also apologizes for slamming him. Both clear all misunderstandings by talking to each other. As Kazuma starts to leave, Madoka stops him, asking about the rumors about him and Ui. Kazuma makes her understand that it was all an accident, but they did kiss. Hearing this, tears start flowing from Madoka's eyes. Just then an acorn hits Kazuma's head. He looks over the tree. At the top of the tree is Komori, who calls Kazuma a demon from the city who casts his evil eye on the girls of their village. Komori starts hitting Kazuma by throwing acorns at him. Madoka intervenes and defends Kazuma. Seeing this, Komori gets down from the tree and leaves. Next day, Kazuma and Ui are walking back home after school is over. On the way they meet Ayumu. Ayumu gets a slight fever. So Kazuma takes Ayumu home on his back. Seeing him, Ui misses his brother who used to take her home on his back like this. Ui begins to see herself in Ayumu's place. Kazuma returns to his room after putting Ayumu to sleep. Ui accidentally blurts out that she is jealous of Ayumu and wants to touch heads with Kazuma like him. Meanwhile, Senka opens the door of the room. But seeing both of them together, she closes the door and stands outside. The next day at school, Kazuma falls over Hina. He calls the toy in Hina's phone cute. Hearing this, Hina leaves from there shyly. Diego describes Hina as the cool beauty of the school, behind whom even the girls are crazy. At lunch, the 3 of them tell Kazuma about the hakonen race that happens every year, in which the children of the school participate representing the shops of the village. Kazuma thinks it has nothing to do with him, but Senka is waiting for him at home. Senka asks Kazuma to participate in the race on behalf of their inn. She sends Kazuma to the park to train for the race. There he finds Komori on the tree. She slipped and fell from there. Kazuma rushes to the tree to catch her. On the way, Komori reveals that she is Tsumugi's younger sister. Kazuma helps Komori deliver groceries to grandfather Gengoro. Gengoro tells them about his ill grandson Keita's upcoming operation. Komori promises that she will definitely come to meet Keita at the hospital. Hina, on the other hand, feels that she was rude to Kazuma and should ask for forgiveness. Next day, Kazuma meets Ibuki while training for the race. When Kazuma asks, Ibuki reveals that she is training for archery. Ui is training in her own style for the race. Komori goes to the hospital to meet Keita. Komori promises Keita that she will win the upcoming race for him. Hina is also training for the race. Then her eyes fell on the teddy bear kept on the chair. After talking to it for a while, Hina starts carrying the teddy bear. She meets Kazuma on the way, who sees the teddy bear fall from Hina's hand. Kazuma gives her the teddy bear and walks away, apologizing for falling on her that day. After this, he trains by climbing the stairs of the shrine. Upstairs he meets Madoka, who tells him that if he wins the race, he will get the chance to become a male god in the next coming festival. Diego gives Ayumu a dress to wear to encourage Kazuma for the race. Finally, the day of the race arrives. Hina is chosen to be the leader of the red team and Tsumugi is chosen to be the leader of the white team. Diego entertains everyone with his commentary. First, there is a bread eating competition. Ui easily wins the first place by grabbing the bread with her mouth. But Madoka has a lot of trouble catching the bread. Hina stands first in the 100 meters girls race. Tsumugi had a lot of trouble in the obstacle clearance race. In the next game, Kazuma receives a card to find the big chest. As he approaches Madoka and touches her, Madoka punches him away. Imagining Kazuma's face on the target board, Ibuki shoots the arrow right on target. At lunch break, the brothers eat with Ui's family. Finally, the time comes for the Hakonen race. Ayumu cheers Kazuma on by wearing a girly dress given to him by Diego. Surprisingly, Kazuma also likes this idea. As soon as the race starts, everyone starts running. In the first part of the race, they have to finish 30 bowls of red bean soup. Ui eats 30 bowls without any problem. In the second part of the race, they have to catch 10 eels. Everyone has a lot of trouble catching eels, but Komori easily catches 10 eels. She moves towards the third part of the race. In this, the participant has to run towards the finish line wearing a random costume. Komori gets a wedding dress and starts running with great difficulty. Hina finds Ui's costume so cute, she runs after her to catch her. While running, Komori's leg gets twisted and she is unable to run. Kazuma, after seeing Komori's injury, tells her to quit the race. But Komori refuses to leave the race as she has promised Keita to win it. Hearing this, Kazuma picks up Komori in his arms and starts running towards the finish line. Kazuma crosses the finish line carrying Komori and Komori takes first place. Keita and his grandfather watch everything on TV.